Okay, we are going to do independent project 4-4 for access. So I've already downloaded the file and opened it up. I'm going to go to file and save as so that I can save it onto my desktop. So I'm going to choose desktop. I'm going to leave the name the same. I'm not going to change that. And then I'm going to click on enable content. So if you're following along in the instructions, we are now on to step number 4. So step 4 says to create a form using the form button. So first I need to click on the race results tab or object here, because that's the table we're going to be using to create the form. And then we're going to go up to create and choose form. And it's going to create a form, and we have to go into save the form. Excuse me, I'm stepping into step 5, but we got to save the form, and we're going to name it view race results. So I'm just going to add the word view to the beginning and then click OK. And now we're going to switch to layout view, and it's already actually in layout view, but you can just double check and make sure. We're going to edit the race results label, which is the title up here. We're going to make that say member race results with spaces. So I'm going to put spaces there. And then we're going to decrease the column widths. So all of these columns, I'm going to use the property sheet here. So you click on any column, click on property sheet, and then over here on the right, we're going to change this width to 1. So they're all smaller. And then it says to add 2 rows below the age group field. So I'm going to click on age group field, and I'm going to go to arrange, and I'm going to click insert below 2 times. So 2 rows. And I'm done now with step number 5 on the first page, and I'm moving on to 5D on the second page of the instructions. It says move the control layout down. So basically I'm just going to click on this and then move it down a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfectly aligned. It's just moving it over so you can see it a little bit better. And then E says to add the date. So we're going to click on design, and we're going to go here to where it says date and time. You're going to click on that. It's this format, so it's the second bubble where it shows day, month, and year. And then we're going to uncheck the box that says include time, because we don't want the time to pop up. And then click OK. So you notice the date shows up over here, and we're going to decrease the width of the date. So we're going to click on it, and we're going to change the width from 3, we're going to make it 1. Okay, so it matches the width of these boxes over here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add a button. So we're going to put a button actually here. It says to add the button to the second added row that will close the form. So we're going to click in this second row, and this is the add button. So on the design tab, it's the little rectangle with all the X's. We're going to choose that, and it's going to bring up a box. Oops, and we're going to click here because that's where we want it. And it's a form operation because we want the button to say close the form. So these are different kinds of buttons you can add. So we want it to say close form. We want the text to say close form. So this is a preview of what the button will look like. And we're going to click next. And it gives us a name. It says to call this the results form close button. So we're saving it. So if we wanted to use this same format and button later, we can. We click finish, and there's my close form button. It says if necessary, increase the height. It is a little bit too small, so I'm going to change the height to maybe 0.25. There you go. So it's a little bit bigger. Now what we're going to do is we're going to edit. It says in step number 7, edit form properties to limit user edits and deletes. So over here on the property sheet, I'm going to click on this drop down arrow, and I'm going to go to the one that says form. And then I need to go all the way down this list. These are all the properties I can change for the form. I'm going to go down here till these sections here where it says allow additions, deletions, and edits. We're going to change all of these to say no. So data entry already says no. Additions, I'm going to click in that row and choose no. Deletions, I'm going to go there and choose no. And then edits, I'm going to choose no. So basically we're limiting what can be done to the form. Okay. And then we're going to save the form. So click on the little diskette up here, and I'm going to go to form view. So now I don't have any of the layout options. I can't move anything around from this view, and you notice that the 3 tabs here, the format, layout, and design, those all go away. Okay, and so if you click, these are the navigation buttons. So in step 8A, it says to use the navigation buttons to move among. You can click forward and backwards so you can see all the different information about the different runners in this particular race. Okay, and now we can close the form. Moving on to step number 9, it says create a report using the blank report button. So we're going to go to create, and we're going to go to blank report, and it says to add all the fields from the members table. So over here on the right, it gives me a list of possible fields. So I'm going to click show all tables, and then I'm going to click members. We're basically going to just click and drag everything from the members table over here onto our report. So member ID, first name, last name, click and drag address, click and drag city, click and drag state, zip, email, and cell number. So I put all the information into my report. And now it says to add grouping. So we're going to click over here on the design tab, group and sort. And then down here at the bottom, now we have to specify how we want it to group. And in step 10A, it says to group on the city field. So we're going to click add a group, and we're going to go to city. So now you see all of the records are grouped. Everybody who's from Auburn, Cameron Park, Fair Oaks, it has each person listed. And that says to save. So we're going to click the diskette, and we're going to call this club members. And we're going to say okay. Now we're going to do some modifications to the layout. So first thing, we're going to go to the page setup tab, and it says in step 11A, or I'm sorry, 11B, to go to margins and choose normal. And then we're going to change the layout to landscape. And then we're going to adjust the columns. So if you look at the 3rd page of the instructions, it kind of gives you a picture of what the columns should look like. So the address needs to be a little bit wider so that it only takes up 1 row. State can be a little bit smaller. So can zip. Oops. So you're basically clicking on the column and then dragging it to be a little bit smaller, and you can scroll up and down and see. So this tells me where the page is, and that's where I want my report to be all on one page. So all I did was click on the column, and then so you see the 2-sided arrow, and then you can click and drag it left or right to adjust the width. We're going to change the title, or we're going to add a title, excuse me. So we're going to go to design, and then in this section here in the header footer area, you're going to click on title, and we're going to call this list of club members. And you can go ahead and click somewhere here. So now I have a title, and then it says to add a page number to the bottom. So we're going to click in the same section where we found title. We're going to click on page numbers. The format, it says in the instructions, is to choose page N of M. We want it on the bottom of the report, and we want it centered. So we're going to click OK, and then it says to save the report. Last thing it says to do is to view the report in print preview. So go to the File tab, go down to where it says Print, and then Print Preview. It should look like the picture in your instructions. And then you can close it, and you are done. So you can go ahead and make sure if you didn't